News Bulletin for the United States and the Atlantic. Good day to our viewers following this special weather update. We are pleased to bring you the most important developments across the United States and the Atlantic as we head into the final days of August. This is a period marked by unusual weather patterns. In the Atlantic, Tropical Storm Fernand is rapidly weakening as it moves into colder northern waters. Meanwhile, on U.S. soil, an unusual cold air mass from Canada is sweeping south, delivering an early taste of autumn to many states. Farther east, off the coast of West Africa, new tropical waves are forming, clear signs that hurricane season is far from over. Let us now go through the key highlights. The current situation in the Atlantic. The potential for Storm Gabrielle. The influence of the Madden-Julian Oscillation, MJO, and the weather outlook for the U.S. over the next 1 to 2 weeks. Atlantic calm. Fernand nears dissipation. We begin with Tropical Storm Fernand. Though still on the weather map this morning, Fernand is in its final chapter. The storm is racing northeast into the cold waters of the North Atlantic, where its heat supply is cut off. Satellite imagery shows a ragged, asymmetric storm with weakening convection. Current winds are about 45 miles per hour and expected to decline further within the next 24 hours. The good news: Fernand poses no threat to land. Even coastal Canada, often affected by storm remnants such as Nova Scotia or Newfoundland, will feel little to no impact. Fernand, then, is a gentle farewell from nature at the close of August. Still, this calm does not mean the season is finished. The Atlantic remains capable of spinning up new storms in just a matter of days. Remnants of 99L. The risk of a homegrown storm. Alongside Fernand, remnants of disturbance 99L linger in the Caribbean, though the U.S. National Hurricane Center has dropped it from active monitoring. Satellite images still show scattered bursts of convection. This highlights the Caribbean's ever-present risk. With sea surface temperatures running above average, even weak remnants can spring back to life given favorable atmospheric support. History shows many homegrown storms forming close to U.S. shores, sometimes intensifying rapidly within days. In the next 7 to 10 days, waters off the southeast U.S., including the Carolinas, Georgia, and northern Florida, will be key areas to watch. Forecast models suggest the possible development of a weak low here, though the chances of a strong storm remain uncertain. The name Gabrielle, next on the list. According to the World Meteorological Organization's naming list, the next storm after Fernand would be Gabrielle. Some models, including the European ECMWF and the American GFS, hint at the development of a system off the southeast U.S. coast by Labor Day weekend. Should it strengthen into a tropical storm, Gabrielle will officially be named. Outcomes vary. Some models project it drifting harmlessly out to sea, while others warn of a possible landfall on the Carolinas, bringing heavy rain. Whichever path unfolds, the key message remains: hurricane season is not over, and new storms may form quickly. Tropical waves off West Africa, seeds of major hurricanes. Farther east, a new tropical wave has just moved off the coast of West Africa. While weak at the moment, these waves are closely monitored since many of history's strongest Atlantic hurricanes began here. The key factor is the Madden-Julian Oscillation, MJO. Currently, the Atlantic is in a sinking air phase, dry, stable, and unfavorable for storm growth. This explains the recent lull, but forecasts show that by early to mid-September, the MJO will flip to a rising air phase, moist, unstable, and highly favorable for tropical cyclone formation. In other words, today's quiet is temporary. West African waves may take advantage of these conditions to develop into powerful systems. On U.S. soil, an unseasonable cold air intrusion. While the Atlantic rests, the U.S. has its own weather story. A strong cold air mass from Canada has swept south, chilling much of the Midwest and East. In Minnesota, morning lows dropped to 38 to 39 degrees Fahrenheit, numbers typical of October. Not late August. Pennsylvania, New York, and even Tennessee reported 40s and low 50s. Many residents donned jackets, a rare late summer sight. This is not a brief event. More cold surges are expected through mid-September, driven by a cross-polar flow, Arctic air spilling directly south into the U.S., a pattern more typical of winter. Meanwhile, in the west, the opposite prevails. California and Nevada remain hot, with temperatures exceeding 100 degrees Fahrenheit in some spots and wildfire danger staying high. The U.S. is split, autumn chill to the east, summer heat to the west. Short-term outlook: heavy rain for the South and Rockies. In the coming days, southern plains, Oklahoma and Arkansas will see repeated downpours, raising flood risks. Rockies, New Mexico, Colorado. Continued heavy rain brings flash flood and landslide risks in valleys and slopes. Northeast U.S. Mild sunshine and low humidity, ideal outdoor weather. Florida, hot and humid, with scattered afternoon storms. Western U.S. Heat persists, with wildfire alerts in California, Oregon, and Nevada, old fronts and the risk of forgotten storms. Meteorologists stress the importance of decaying cold fronts left offshore. These stalled boundaries act as breeding grounds for moisture and instability. Over the next week to 10 days, the southeast coast may see several such lingering fronts. Initially, they will spark scattered storms. But if one small disturbance organizes and persists, it could spin into a tropical depression, so-called homegrown storms. History recalls examples like Hurricane Humberto, 2007, which formed almost overnight and made landfall within 24 hours. Forecast models: ECMWF versus GFS. The ECMWF model shows clearer signals for a low forming off the southeast U.S. around Labor Day, some scenarios bringing it into the Carolinas. The GFS is more cautious, projecting a weaker system likely swept out to sea. Both agree the southeast waters will be a hotspot to monitor. ECMWF also suggests that by mid-September, at least one West African wave could intensify into a storm and move toward the Caribbean, lining up with the seasonal hurricane peak. MJO, the deciding factor. The Madden-Julian oscillation remains crucial. When in its sinking phase, storms struggle to form. When in its rising phase, storm potential surges. At present, the Atlantic is unfavorable, but by September 8 to 14, forecasts point to a favorable phase covering both the Caribbean and main development region. This coincides with the climatological hurricane peak, meaning activity is expected to ramp up significantly. Climate in the U.S. Autumn knocks early. The Canadian cold front has reshaped late August weather. Instead of sticky heat, the Midwest and Great Lakes are seeing October-like mornings. Wisconsin saw lows of 41 to 42 degrees Fahrenheit. Ohio dipped into the 40s, and the Appalachians even brushed near freezing. Forecasts suggest repeated cold surges for the next 2 to 3 weeks, driven by a high-pressure ridge over Alaska pushing Arctic air south. This rare late summer pattern means Americans may enjoy an extended early autumn well into mid-September. East versus West, a nation divided. While the East enjoys crisp, cool air, the West swelters. California reports triple-digit heat. Nevada and Arizona also remain scorching, and wildfire alerts are widespread. The stark contrast underscores the extremes of modern climate. One nation, two very different weather realities. Overall picture: a fragile calm. In summary, late August weather in North America and the Atlantic shows a split personality. The Atlantic is quiet, with Fernand fading and only weak disturbances lingering. The U.S., however, faces an early season chill in the east while the West endures ongoing heat. Yet experts stress, this calm is fragile. As the MJO turns favorable in early September, West African waves may blossom into powerful storms. The peak of hurricane season still lies ahead, and vigilance remains essential. For Americans, this is a moment to enjoy the cool respite but also stay alert for potential hazards. Forecast centers will continue issuing daily updates to ensure everyone is prepared. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your comments below for more updates.